Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is always so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So, today we're going to take a look at what the rest of 2025 has in store for you. So, 2025, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is a 9 year. So, as we're ending these next 3 months, as we're going through them, we're really focusing on allowing ourselves to see clearly what is not meant to be on our path as we start 2026, which is a 1 year. So a 9 year is about really cleaning out the mindsets, the thoughts, the beliefs, the behaviors, the closets, the clutter in our life, and allowing ourselves to really step into an energy of creating a plan for what we want for ourselves in the next 9 year cycle. Okay, so 2026 is a great year to start new projects, new relationships, new situations, new jobs, new careers, new businesses, whatever it is that your heart is truly desiring. But before we can plant those seeds, we have to really allow ourselves to get the land for our seeds really and truly cleaned out and prepared for new adventures. So let's jump into it. Let's see what October, November, and December have in store for you. Stag Spirit, take the lead. Okay, so this is really a powerful message reminding you that it is time to empower yourself, not allowing yourself to focus on what other people are doing or things that you can't change, right? There's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot of situations and chaos and drama that we, can get sucked into, but really isn't part of what is meant for us to be putting our time, our energy, our love into. It's about allowing yourself to get really clear about what you can control and what you can't control, right? And allowing yourself to put your time, your energy, your love, your resources into those things that you can control. There's something about drama here that I'm getting. You could have people in your life or situations in your life which are spinning up a lot of drama. That could even be social media or, watching the news or whatever. It's kind of like allowing yourself to narrow, where your time and energy are going. I feel like Gemini, it's almost like these antlers are really spread out. You're spreading yourself too thin, really allowing yourself to say, okay, what is really and truly important to me? As I'm stepping into a beautiful new chapter, a 9 year chapter, right? It's kind of like, you do not have to take forward with you any of the drama or the chaos that is in your life right now. Allowing yourself to see, are you carrying the burden of chaos, conflict, gossip, drama, right? Whatever that is. Are you carrying the burden that isn't yours? Allowing yourself to empower yourself and really only concentrate on what you can do and what you can control. Yeah, surrendering to the journey because there's something new for you. It says release control. I feel like you're trying to control perhaps things or people, situations that you can't control. It's a little bit of that energy of allowing yourself to let other people be who they're going to be, right? But allowing yourself to see the way that they are acting or reacting and allowing yourself to recognize you can't change that. Are you focusing on a situation or a relationship that you're wanting to change? Right? You have expectations that maybe this person, this situation will change if you give it enough time and energy. This is about redirecting where your time and energy are going and allowing yourself to navigate through this by having a clear-cut plan of what it is that you desire instead of perhaps what other people are. You may be over-helping people in your life. You could be over-helping people, especially like family or friends or at work. Like you're allowing yourself to try to help a lot of people that are capable of helping themselves. Let's put it that way, right? They're capable of helping themselves, but for some reason, you can provide something for them, right? A lot more quickly than they can do it for themselves. But you're getting tied up in their drama because of it. Yeah, beauty. See the beauty of what you want to have for yourself. It's not selfish, Gemini. It's not selfish. It's a little bit about taking back your power, because when the stag spirit comes out, it means that you're allowing situations or people around you to steal your power in one way or another, right? And that could be through their dramatic life, right? Or somebody telling you you're the only one that can save them, whether that's a project at work or financial assistance from a family member or whatever it is. It's kind of like, okay, is this what I want as I move forward? Do I want to keep overextending my time, my energy? I think part of it here is, Gemini, is you could be not wanting to close some door, right? I feel like there's something here about making a big decision about what you want for yourself. You could be overextending yourself, like over juggling a lot of different things because you can't decide exactly what it is that you desire. Yeah, that's what October is about. October is about discovering what it is that your heart truly desires. Allowing yourself to recognize, what is it that you want, Gemini? Being a mutable sign, and I'm a Gemini sun, right? Being a mutable sign, it is a lovely energy, right? Because we consider everybody's wants, desires. We want to help everybody. We want to share our information and wisdom with everybody. But understanding that there is something here about over giving or being overly available, overly available to others, and therefore not having the time, the energy, the resources in order to go after what it is your heart desires. And part of it could be that you're having a hard time. Well, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I want. So sometimes we can get caught up in that difficulty of making that decision because it's easier to just help other people with what they desire to have, right? Instead of allowing yourself. Yeah, look. You're observing life, allowing yourself to recognize, where are you observing life instead of living life? Are you overthinking things? Are you overextending yourself and not allowing yourself to sit down, right? He's sitting on a rock in the middle of a river. I know he's panning for gold, but it's about allowing yourself to recognize that he's had to sit in that location for a while to find one golden nugget. And Gemini, we don't like to sit very long, right? We like to be active, which is really good for our air energy. But this is calling for you to really spend the time sitting with yourself in like now, okay? Because we're getting close to mid-October, allowing yourself to sit there and ask yourself, what is it my heart truly desires? Because there's something here about recognizing you can't make a plan for 2026 until you know what it is that you desire. In the meantime, I feel like what you're doing is just kind of like overextending yourself, right? Trying to figure out, right? And by overextending yourself to a lot of people and situations, it's kind of like, well, I'll see what I get back from that, and then I'll decide. But then you're allowing that person, that situation, to have power over you. If it's something that you want, it's about allowing yourself to figure out what it is that you want, making a plan, and then taking action on that plan. That's the stag spirit. It's not about, well, I'll put out all this energy to a lot of different things, not giving my full attention to any one of them and see what I get in return. sometimes that works, but we're at the end of a 9-year. It's about getting that clarity. It's about making a decision on what it is that you want and going all in, right? And understanding that if you go all in and it doesn't work for you in one way or another, you can go all in a different direction. This kind of reminds me a little bit of sometimes when I'm doing like spring cleaning or something, I'll pull everything out of all the closets and then I have all this big mess and then I'm kind of like overwhelmed instead of going into one closet and completely cleaning it out, right? And saying done, right? And then going to the next closet and doing the same thing. I'm actually kind of doing that with my cabinets in my house right now, right? And I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm taking a different approach. I'm just doing one cabinet a day, right? And allowing myself to just focus on that one cabinet that day. And I have a box for things I want to donate. And I have a trash bag for the things I just need to go, right? And then I have a box for things that I know are going to go somewhere else, right? Allowing yourself to really kind of get organized a little bit here. Yeah, look at Page of Wands. You're learning how to do things differently. There's something about doing things differently. Because I feel like you've just stretched yourself too thin. Yes, Queen of this is good. This is good. This is so good. Because here you are, October. It's Queen of Wands. What is it that I really and truly desire? What does my heart desire? When I pull my energy away from what, oh my gosh, and I didn't even see this. This is the Queen of Cups. I mean, the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Your truth of what it is that your heart truly desires. Allowing yourself to pull your energy. You see? He's kind of like sitting there by himself. He's not panning for gold. He's not panning for what his heart truly desires with other people. He's sitting there. He's doing it on his own. I feel like there's something in October about allowing yourself some time to just sit quietly, hopefully in nature, right? Where you can really ponder, what do I want for the next 9 years? See the Queen of Swords here? She's looking to the future. What do I want in the next 9 years, starting in 2026? What seeds do I want to plant? A farmer doesn't, till the soil and get it all ready and then like just go to the feed store or whatever, the seed store, right? And just kind of like, okay, what do you think I should plant? He doesn't. He sits there and he asks himself, or she asks herself, right? What do I want to plant? What will work in the soil I have? What is it I would like to harvest in the future? This is you allowing yourself this time, because one of the things you have to realize is you have to get kind of crystal clear with that, hopefully in October, so that November and December, you can really refine, okay, your plan for 2026 to 2035, right? It's about allowing yourself to really get crystal clear. It's kind of like, what do I see for myself on the horizon in the next 9 years? What is it I want to experience? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Who do I want to become? What have I not yet experienced that I would love to experience? Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, it's when you drop the burdens of everyone else. That includes like the burdens of what society or your conditioned beliefs as a child, right? It's kind of like, okay, I'm dropping all of that. I'm starting over. You have the Page of Pentacles. I'm starting over. But this time, look, both of these have exactly the same type of energy. Here's my pentacle. This is what I'm wishing for. This is what I am willing to put time and energy into. This is the seed that I want to plant. Because that pentacle, that golden nugget, represents what it is that you want to plant, the seed of what you want to manifest in your life. Knowing that when you plant that seed, it's not just about planting it and walking away. It's about also nourishing it, right? It's about fertilizing it and watering it and making sure it gets sunlight. It's about weeding around it, right? So that it gets all of the full nutrients that are available to it. Because when you do that, look at this. When you allow yourself to cut out all the clutter, okay? I feel a Gemini, I totally can resonate. There's a lot of clutter. You may have a lot of unfinished projects. It doesn't mean you have to finish the project, Gemini. It just means you have to decide, do you want to finish that project or not? And if you don't, it's about allowing yourself permission to say, yeah, just not feeling it anymore with that project and getting it off of your plate, right? I feel like you have too much on your plate. It's kind of like, what is the one single thing that you could really and truly concentrate on that would bring you the blessings, the happiness, the joy, the abundance that you would really and truly desire? You have the Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to say twice. Things are moving in your favor when you allow yourself to spend time, okay, deciding what it is that you want. And, I have to say there's like almost a little flutter in my heart chakra here, because it's kind of like, I think you are almost trying to stay busy doing a lot of different things that maybe you feel like, well, I need to do this. This is, the shoulds, the whatever. This is you saying, nope, this is what I want. And I'm willing to drop all of this other stuff, right, to concentrate on what it is that I want, knowing it's going to need your full attention, that you can't sit there and juggle 1,000 plates up in the air, keep spinning all these plates, deciding that you want to concentrate on just one plate. Because in November, it is the energy. You have friends and colleagues here. It's about sharing who you are, who you really and truly want to be with other people. But it's also understanding. Queen of Wands. I love the Queen of Wands. One of my favorite cards. Confident, inspiring, go-getter, right? You're stepping into this energy of, I'm only allowing myself to give to people, situations, colleagues, all right, that are also giving back to me. I'm allowing myself to receive what I may need from other people. In other words, I'm delegating, right? I'm not doing the work for everyone else, right? I'm part of a group, perhaps. You could be deciding what it is that you want and then wanting to collaborate with other people. But it's kind of like, I'm not doing the work for the other people, but I am sharing my ideas. We're bouncing ideas off of each other. We're helping each other out. You could even be kind of like, especially if you're like wanting to start like a spiritual business or grow a spiritual business or any type of business, right? It's kind of like, okay, I can't do everything in the business by myself. I'm going to start hiring some of it out, or, I'll help you out with something and you help me out with something. This could really be like deep networking or, kind of like allowing yourself to collaborate with others, especially other creatives, but not overextending yourself. It's kind of like, no, I see, right? I can, Gemini, right? We're quick, right? We're intelligent. A lot of times we feel like we can do it faster ourselves than teaching other people or telling other people what it is that we want. It's about allowing ourselves to also recognize other people also have certain gifts that maybe we don't, or maybe are not our strengths. Allowing yourself to see what your strength is, but also allowing yourself to accept your non-strengths, right? I don't want to say weaknesses, but allowing yourself to say, someone can do this faster than me. I can totally relate to that. It's kind of like, I was working on something the other day and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go learn this new program, this, software program. I'll just go learn that and then I'll just do it myself. And then I got into it and I was like, this is ridiculous. Somebody else that knows already how to do or work with this program can do it for me so much faster, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to see. It's time to focus on your strengths, right? Maybe it's time to focus on your strengths instead of feeling like you have to do it all. I totally get it. I totally can resonate with that. Yeah, it's about recognizing that some things have to end. Ten of Swords. You have to allow something to end, a way that you're doing your business, a way that you're living your life, a way of carrying the burden for not just yourself, but for others. There's something here that you have to allow yourself to say that no longer serves me. And I think in December, what you're doing is you're deciding, Judgment and Queen of Cups. I'm deciding what I want for myself. I'm going with what my intuition tells me. I'm no longer allowing Ten of Swords, that's your head, that's the logical side, right? It's kind of like I'm allowing my intuition to guide me. I feel like you're up in your head. And it's, even the Six of Swords, it's kind of like I want to move on to a sense of more peace. The Six of Swords is about moving from turbulent waters into more calm waters, right? I want a sense of more peace. I want more joy. I want more happiness. The Queen of Wands, right? In October, you're the Queen of Swords. Serious. That's okay. I think there is a little bit of you that needs to allow yourself to get serious, logical, analytical, looking at your life, charting out where you're putting your time and energy and asking yourself, is this something I really want? Or did somebody convince me this is something that I wanted, right? Getting crystal clear of what you want. But then the Queen of Wands is fiery energy. That's kind of like, wow, this is what I want. So here I am. I'm shining my light brightly. I'm stepping into knowing who I am, confident, right? Inspiring to others, because you're now allowing yourself to choose to do those things that you really and truly desire. I also say that, Geminis, a lot of times we can have a lot of people in our life that are more of what I would call maybe an acquaintance, okay, than a true deep connection. And there's something here about allowing yourself to recognize that maybe you have a lot of friends and colleagues, people in your life, acquaintances, but maybe what your heart is truly desiring is a special friend or special person that really can share your life. And you're understanding that by having a lot of different people in your life, you might be busy and very social, right? The social butterfly. But it's kind of like, are you being yourself when you're around all of these people? Do they see you for who you are and what it is? Do they understand your purpose, judgment card, your purpose, that you want to live your life based more on what your divine purpose is, who you truly are, and allowing yourself to recognize that maybe there's something here about allowing yourself to live life a little bit differently. And instead of having maybe a lot of acquaintances that don't know you on a deeper level, you're understanding that takes a lot of time and energy to have a lot of different people in your life, right? I can kind of resonate with that, and then it's like, then I feel like, oh, I'm not giving this person enough time or this person enough time, right? Or feeling like you don't really belong to the group because you're not giving enough time and energy, but asking yourself, are these the people I really want in my life? Or am I willing to kind of like have less acquaintances and a deeper connection maybe a deeper romantic connection, or one really good friend instead of a pack of acquaintances. There's something there that I think your heart is calling you to take a look at, Gemini. That might not be for all of you, but I think for some of you, you're understanding that here's the Queen of Wands, you're shining your light, but you want someone to shine it with, right? You want people to really and truly see who you are, to unconditionally love you for who you are. And in order to have that, we have to allow ourselves to go deeper in a connection instead of having a lot of more shallow. I'm not saying you're shallow or the people you're dealing with are shallow, right? But just a more surface relationship. To go deeper, it means we need to put more time and energy into that deeper connection. We have to be more vulnerable. We have to open up our hearts. We have to allow that person to really get to know us for who we really and truly are, and for us to get to know them. Wow, powerful, powerful energy. Okay, so let's take a look at what December is. Yeah, December is the realization that you're living life too much in a sense of staying safe. You know, I'm going to come back to this. Like, does it help to have a lot of people in your life? Because then you feel like, well, in the past, I had one person or I had a small group of people, but then they let me down and I had nobody. So maybe I'm better off to have a ton of different acquaintances, right? Allowing yourself to recognize where you're holding yourself back. Wanting to have a lot of plates up in the air in case one plate falls, right? That you'll have these other plates. I totally get that, right? I totally understand that, especially with finances or something like that. But also understanding that when we're trying to keep all these plates up in the air, we're not really allowing ourselves to really put our whole self into one plate. We're also not allowing ourselves, right, to gain the benefit of that one plate. And we're definitely not enjoying. Okay. I know when I have a lot on my agenda, is kind of like I'm running around with all these plates up in the air, but I may not be able to enjoy any of them or to be able to go super deep with any of them. This is the energy of understanding. I don't want to play it safe anymore. I'm willing. I'm not a gambler at all, but it's kind of like I'm hearing all chips in, right? It's kind of like you can't hit the wheel of fortune, or I don't know how roulette works. I'm just not a gambler, but it's kind of like I'm seeing, like, I think it's called a roulette wheel, right? And it's kind of like, unless you put it all in on one number or however that works, it's kind of like you're not going to get the benefits unless you allow yourself to really and truly love yourself and someone else on a deeper level, right? You're not going to be able to experience the true essence of love. If you don't choose one career or one project to put your energy all into, right? Then you're not going to be able to experience the blessings and the abundance from something. It's kind of like just a reminder that it's time to choose which which seed do you want to plant? It's about allowing ourselves to recognize, because Geminis, we can keep a lot of plates up in the air, but then also asking yourself, do you have too many plates up in the air? Is it time to narrow your focus? Choose the direction you want to go in, and not to worry about how are other people going to think about that or whatever. It's about allowing yourself to say, what do I want for myself? Right? And not allowing your fears to make that decision. This is the energy of recognizing that we can make decisions either out of love or out of fear. There's only two ways. Are you making decisions out of fear? Fear that, well, if this one friend rejects me, then I'll have 9 others, right? It's kind of like understanding it's time to go all in, whatever it is for you, okay? And it doesn't have to be just like, okay, I'm going all in my career, going all in my relationships. Maybe it's about choosing to go all in one thing in each sector of your life, right? Because as Geminis, we do like to have a lot going on. Allowing yourself to say, okay, what's my one career focus or business focus or sharing my spiritual gift focus? I'm allowing myself to choose that and go all in. What is my one relationship focus? Okay, I'm going to go all in. What about my physical and mental health, right? What is one thing? What's a priority that I can put into place, a focus, and going all in on that, right? It's allowing yourself to recognize it's time to go all in with a goal or a dream. Yeah, you're holding yourself back. You're holding yourself back because you are fearful, okay? Secretly, you're fearful that it won't work out. Whew. I just got goosebumps, right? It's about recognizing it's the energy that I'm putting into the things that I have in front of me. I really and truly feel like it's about make a choice and go with it. And don't allow your emotions of what has occurred in the past, okay, prevent you or put you in an energy of making decisions out of fear. It's what are your fears? When you think about that thing that you'd like to go all in on, right? But you're kind of like hedging because it's like, well, I have to have a backup plan and a backup plan for that backup plan, right? Then understanding you're not putting all of your energy into those things that your heart truly desires. You're literally sending out to the universe a message of, well, that's what I want, but I'm not really ready to put all my money on it, right? It's the energy of understanding. This is what I want. This is what I know I deserve. This is where I'm putting my time and energy. And I'm not allowing my emotions to get the better of me, right? I'm allowing myself to look at the past. What hasn't worked out? What can I learn from that experience? It's not about what would I do if I could do it over differently. It's about looking at the situation and asking myself, what did I learn? What's the wisdom I learned in that I can take forward? Wow, that is just really, I don't know about you, Gemini, is really resonating with me. Because I feel like there's something, especially in these last 9 years. Take a look at the projects that you've had, the wishes, the dreams that you had that maybe haven't come true, right? Allowing yourself to take a look at it and then ask yourself, how were you holding yourself back? How were you, literally, Seven of Swords is sabotaging, right? How were you playing it too safe? It is time to allow yourself to take your power back, right? Don't allow the fears of what has occurred in the past hinder you from the experiences that you have on the horizon. You have the Wheel of Fortune twice, right? You actually have it 3 times because you had it over here. You have it 3 times. This is divinely guided, right? Listening to your intuition and taking bold action. That is, wow, that is so powerful. All right, Gemini, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, what expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? Yes, I feel like there's something here about allowing the universe to help you. Okay, you're thinking it has to happen in a certain way. It's time to let that go. It is time, so much time to let that go. The expectations we have are mostly delusional and impossible to meet. We then experience disappointment with ourselves or with a relationship when they are not met. It's time to dissolve your expectations and replace them with gratitude. Be grateful. You are being summoned to more peace. Peace And that is so interesting. That's what I kind of said earlier on about having a peace of mind, right? Peace is home for our soul and is accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender. Look at this. You have the surrender card, right? When you surrender and focus only on what you can control. Oh my goodness. And if you expect nothing and are grateful for everything, you will experience extreme fulfillment. Yeah, this is the energy. That's what I was saying at the beginning. You can't control so many things. What can you control? You can control where you're putting your time and energy. You can control what you're saying yes to and no to. You can control, right, about what burdens you are carrying, what is your responsibility, and what is the responsibility of other people. It's about really allowing yourself to clean out that clutter, right? To see clearly what seeds you want to plant and focusing, putting your time and energy on that. Don't get distracted, Gemini. These last 3 months, do not get distracted. Maybe make a vision board, right, of what you want for yourself in the next 9 years, allowing yourself to put your energy into that. Almost living your life now as if you were there, because there's probably a lot of people or situations in your life you would just start saying no to if you already had acquired what it is that you're wanting, right? It's kind of like, oh, well, I wouldn't have time to do that for that person. Okay, if you wouldn't have time for it in the future, then why are you doing it now? It's almost like start living your life in that focused energy of your future. Wow, beautiful, Gemini. All right, I'm leaving it there. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.